You don't have social anxiety, you're just surrounded by the wrong people. Like, speaking from experience, when you are not in environments where you're able to take up space, when you're not able to be seen, when you're not able to be heard, people are going to have an issue. And speaking from experience, the only people who have these internal issues with me were people who had internal issues with themselves. So welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about. Like, when you are surrounded by loving people, when you're surrounded by the right people, they're going to appreciate you, they're going to uplift you, they're going to see your spirit, they're going to see your energy, they're not going to judge you based off of your appearance, they're not going to come for your finances, they're not going to come for your resources, they're not going to gossip about you to their friends, to their family, your friends, your family. They're going to defend you in rooms when people are not there. They're not going to judge you when they have problems with you. They're going to come to you. They're not going to talk about you to like people, place, and things. They're not going to make up rumors. Like, anybody who does that does not respect you and they don't like you. And a lot of people like to pretend like they like you. A lot of people like to pretend to help you because they think they're better than you. They think they're smarter than you. They think they know more than you. And it's just like, nobody can know more than somebody because you don't know what people know. Like, every single person who said, oh, you think you know everything or you just had to be right, it's my experience. We don't have the same life. And those people were the same people who were comparing themselves to me. Let's talk about it. Like, when you are able to be yourself, you don't have to worry about those things. Like, I haven't had a lot of people in my life who were genuine, but the ones that are in my life and the ones that I did experience didn't have an issue with me being myself. Like, especially when you're not out here doing anything to people intentionally. Now, of course, I've dealt with people feeling how they need to be shady, but it's just like, it was always been one-sided. And it's just like, I didn't have social anxiety. I wasn't silenced. I was silent because I knew that I was not compatible with these people, and I didn't want to be, because how they carry themselves, because how they think about themselves, because how they think about other people. Like, when you're around the right people, you're not shy, you're not awkward. Like, you know how to speak, you're not a tree, you can move. So it's just like, it's really important to remove people who do not mean you any well out of your life. And it's just like, people don't have to pretend to support you if they really want to be there. And you have to realize that when people are not supporting you, when people are fake, they're not for you, and that's okay. But it's like, don't not be yourself just because people may not understand you, or just because people feel some type of way. Like, who cares about them? Like, every single person who says something negative towards me or projected energy, they're dead or they're not in my life. Like, let's really talk about it. A lot of people don't realize that I did not live my life for other people. Like, either support the videos or you don't. Like, nobody's obligated to be in your life. But it's like, why should you not be who you are, live the fullest to make other people feel comfortable? Because it's like, do other people make you feel comfortable? Every single person who felt some type of way, they didn't make me feel comfortable. They didn't make me feel safe. So why would I do the same for them? And it's just like, when you are being the bigger person, it's when you're in relationships with people who want to get to know you. Like, people who want to get to know you are not going to gossip about you behind your back. People who want to be your friend are going to come to you. Rather it takes them some time, rather they're not used to communicating. When someone wants to be for you, they're going to show you through their actions. And don't be confused. If somebody's showing you through their actions, but they talk badly about you behind your back, or one day they're happy, one day they're mad, like, those are people not for you. And it may be people that you were once familiar with because that's all you knew, but just because you're related to people doesn't mean that you're family members or etc. Just because you're in a relationship with people doesn't mean they genuinely care for you. And it's just like, you don't have to hide, or you don't have to like not show certain versions of yourself when you're around the right people. Like, when you're not around the right people, you're not going to feel comfortable. And it's like, once you realize that you're not around the right people, you got to remove yourself from them. Because when I was moving and I traveled and I met a lot of people, some people were for me and some people weren't. Some people were for me because, you know, they were themselves, they were confident, and I've never had a problem with those type of people. Rather they were black, they were white, Hispanic, Asian, gay, never had a problem. Only people I had a problem with were people who didn't know who they were, and they thought they were going to tell me who I was, or they thought they were going to project onto me. I don't have the same insecurities, I don't have the same life. And when you are meant to go places and you're meant to live a luxury life, and luxury doesn't always have to be finances or wealthy or material, but just, you know, the life you want to live, and people are not, they're gonna be like, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or this and this and that. And it's just like, no, you can't do this. You can't do what I do. You can't do that. And you have to just, like, remove yourself, and you don't have to match energy. Speaking from experience, I realized recently I don't have to act the way you act because I don't like how you act. I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to be belligerent. I'm not going to be belittling people. I'm not going to treat people how they treat me because it's ugly. And that's what I realized. Like, instead of, acting and treating people how they treat me, just realize, you know what? It's better for me just to not speak to you at all. Or if I don't have nothing nice to say, like, I don't want to be around you. Like, if I have to be shady towards you, if I have to match your energy and it's negative, what's the point of me being around you? I'd rather personally just not talk to you and just avoid you. Honestly, that's how I feel. Like, because it's like, why are you talking to people sideways? Why can't you, have conversations with people? Like, I've realized so many, like, negative people in my life. If I'm yelling at you or I'm cursing at you or I gotta beat you up just to know, like, it's toxic and it's unhealthy. And, like, me personally, because I've never been that type of person, like, it's just not for me. And it's like, as you grow older in life, you realize who's for you and who's not. But it's just like, the only people who have a problem with you taking up space are people who are not meant to be around you. And my thing is, once you say you don't like me, once you say you don't like my videos, don't watch. Nobody's telling you to be here, because I genuinely want people to live their best life. Not because I'm just trying to pretend to be fake positive, or no, it's just like, I mind my business. And when you do mind your business and you're not out here hurting people and harming people and misleading people, why is it an issue? Like, what does the next woman having to be beautiful have to do with me? Like, ladies, all of us are beautiful in our own way. None of us are the same. And that's the good thing. Same thing with men. All men on this planet are handsome. Every man I know is beautiful, okay? And I'm not just talking about on the outside. I'm talking about on the inside. Now, do people feel that way? No. And this is why it's important to work on yourself. So therefore, when you do work on yourself and you do get around other people who know who they are, it's not an issue. But it's just like, I just want to make this video because it's like, it's really important that you have community and people who support you and are not feeling like you can't take up space, or who try to, like, be better than you and one up you. Because it's like, once again, why would you surround yourself with people who constantly are trying to prove themselves to you? And like, every single person, like I said, who just threw shade or was just so mean and nasty, is just like, you have your own internal issues that you're dealing with, and I'm not going to internalize it. I never have, out of the 27 years of my life, going on 28, and I never will. And that's why a lot of times I was not silenced. I was being silent, because why would I address one-sided beef? Why am I addressing your insecurities? I don't have a problem with me. I love myself, and I will continue to love myself. And when you love yourself, you're not out here causing confusion and corruption in people's life. You don't intentionally want to hurt and harm people or try to humble people. And when people try to humble you, I'm telling you guys from experience, they will be humbled. I've witnessed so much stuff in my life. Some people don't realize until they're older. Some people don't realize until they're not here. Don't let that be you. Like, a lot of people, a lot of things are going to continue to happen in this year, which it's already have. So it's like, be you. But once you realize that you can't be yourself around certain people, like, you have to remove them, because if not, it's always going to be an issue. It's just like when people are like, oh, who are you dressing up for? Or you just have to, everything, or you just, it's like, move. Like, it's nothing positive. Like, it's just not positive, and I don't think it's healthy for you. I don't think it's healthy to anybody. And it's just like, even if people do have insecurities and they do need to work on themselves, they can come to you. Like, I would have so much more respect for people who are envious, who are insecure, who do feel some type of way, and they said that, like, they weren't prideful, they weren't arrogant, because that's what arrogance is. A lot of people confuse arrogance with confidence. But if they sat there and said that and acknowledged it and worked on themselves, like, I have so much respect for those type of people. But for you to be arrogant, to be nasty to people, and to be insecure and try to blame it on other people because you're not happy with yourself, that's where the line has to be drawn. That's where it's a red flag, because it's just like, people go through things, and some people do feel certain things that other people don't. But doesn't make you better. Like, and another thing, people only know what they know. I talk about this all the time. We can only project what we've been experienced, and that's the same thing. I'm very knowledgeable in a lot of areas because I've traveled and I have the experience, and just from living a certain type of life. Everyone has not lived the life that I have. And it's like, if you really do have abundance, if you say you're this and that, you can help people. I've never had a problem with helping people. That's why I make these videos. The only people who have a problem with you having certain experience or knowing certain knowledge are people who don't have those things themselves. Like, you are never going to meet somebody who is on the same frequency as you, who is meant to be in your life, who's going to have an issue. Like, it's always people who are not meant to have access to you, who always has something negative to say. So it's like, cut these people off, continue to be your best version of yourself. Once again, you don't have social anxiety. You just need to make sure you're around the right people. And as you continue to be around the right people, you could be the fullest version of yourself. Like, don't worry about people talking about you and worrying about you. Like, they're not important. If they're not going to finance you, they're not going to feed you, they don't care about you, they don't want to get to know you, they can't respect you, even if you guys have differences, even if you guys disagree, let them be who they are. So if you have questions, comments, and concerns, give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you're commenting down below, turn on your post notifications so you're subscribed, and follow me on all social media platforms at Ty Guidance. All the information will be down in the description box below. And if you're interested in a service and a session where the energy is more relaxed, more intimate, more one-on-one and confidential, head to my website at tyguidancesummer.com. Book your appointment today, and let me know what you guys are interested in talking about in the comment section on YouTube or in the community section or on my Instagram and on TikTok on my story. I'll be posting a poll for you to vote and let me know. And I'll be going live on Instagram and on TikTok to answer any questions, comments, and concerns that I haven't addressed already about confidence, healing, uplifting yourself, staying motivated, trials and tribulations, and transmuting negative energy into positive energy, okay? And if I haven't talked about something and you want me to, let me know. But when you see these videos, make sure you like, comment, and engage so I know like we're on the same page. But just be yourself. Nobody's gonna have a problem with you being yourself. And if people think you're doing the most, let them go find less. The moment you say you don't like me, because I don't believe honestly in rekindling relationships that are not in alignment. So once you say you don't like me, once you say you're not for me, once whatever, you're allowed to think what you want to think. People are allowed to think what they want to think. We're a strong believer in equality. Once you decide though, that's it. So if you talked about me and you made up in your mind that you don't want to like me, or I'm this, I'm that, you have to keep that energy for the rest of your life, because I'm going to keep the same energy for the rest of my life. Now, if we're meant to cross paths, then we will. If not, once you stay on that side, permanent. That's the only thing I will guarantee to you. I am that type of person, okay? Love you, bye.